Before the World Health Organization declared the COVID-19 outbreak a global pandemic in March 2020, there was only a glimpse of the sheer scale of tragic loss of life that was to come. More than 2 years on, COVID-19 remains the leading cause of death among 45 to 85-year-olds in the US. Hospital staff have put their own lives at risk to help others. Chaplain Matt Norwell has been providing emotional and spiritual support at Johns Hopkins Hospital for 15 years, and he continued to in person during the worst of the pandemic.
The first patient that I was going into their room because the family had requested that I be with them and the patient was dying of COVID. So I remember standing at the threshold of that door, knowing that I was going into a room that the air was full of COVID, and having to say my own prayer of, I hope we all did this right.
The US military sent hospital ship Comfort into New York Harbor in March 2020 in an effort to help. Non-profit Samaritan's Purse and Mount Sinai Hospital set up an emergency field hospital in Central Park to treat coronavirus patients.
I think as ICU physicians, we are trained to deal with death on a daily basis. But the sheer number and the sheer volume of deaths is not something that I think anyone has ever dealt with.
Once testing and vaccinations became widely available in the US, there was hope for a safer future. But many of the people who've died more recently weren't vaccinated or lived in a place that didn't observe masking or social distancing to prevent transmission of the virus. Over the last 2 years, the death toll from COVID-19 and other mental health and related illnesses have led to a decrease in the life expectancy in the United States. After dropping in both 2020 and 2021, the average life expectancy is now at 76.6 years old. That's the lowest level in 25 years. Many people have had to face mortality in a way they hadn't before.
I hope that people are paying attention to their own vulnerability and that they're able to engage in their own relationships in a different way and engage life in a better way.
Peeling off the layers of trauma of a challenging and tragic pandemic leaves the cold, hard fact that 1 in every 336 people in the US that were alive in 2020 have died from COVID-19. Caroline Malone, CGTN, Washington.